Here we go. Happy full moon, everybody. Hello, online. We've been hanging out here together in person for an hour, so I'm really excited to welcome you to our beautiful full moon ritual for May. It is a Sag full moon. My moon is in Sag. This is my moon. I cautioned everybody in the room that a Sag full moon is not a good behavior moon. It's kind of a naughty moon. And it's only naughty because people with Sag moon really don't like rules. But what I told everybody in the room is, and I really want to tell you this because it'll make you laugh, but it'll make you think too. So I said, and not in a judgmental way, I said, do you remember the kids in school who weren't so smart? And everybody went, and I said, not intellectually, not smart. Street smarts, not smart. Which everybody's like, okay, I remember those kids, okay? They would break the rules and get in trouble. And Sag moons would watch them. I would watch them and think, if you're really smart, street smart, you learn the rules so that when you break them really well. And so I used to watch kids get in trouble and I'd be like, when it's my turn, that's not how it's going to go down. It's going to be different than that. So Sag moon is sort of a little bit around, because Sag moon prizes nothing more than freedom. You know, it's really funny. My husband said to me at the breakfast table last week, and I've been with my husband for 20 years. Our 15-year wedding anniversary is in a month. So I know this guy pretty well. And so we're sitting around the breakfast table, and he said something to me, you need to do this today. And I said, well, you know, let's see, maybe. And he's like, no, you, my husband's a Virgo. He's like, no, you're absolutely doing this today. And I said, well, and so he said, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like, this has to happen today. And I said, here's what you still don't know about me. Sag moon, 20 years later, everything's a choice. And if it isn't, I'm still going to think it's a choice so that when I decide to do it, I feel free. Because otherwise I feel like you're a boss of me and I'm going to resent you for it. So what you need to say with me is, I would really like for you to do this thing today. If you don't do it, it's okay. But it'd be really great if you could do it. And then I will go, oh, I would love to do it for him or whatever, but it's a choice. And so he's like, yeah, but not everything is a choice. And I was like, that, my friend, is where you're wrong. Everything is a choice. So anyway, I'm just sharing that with you because that was like full. Oh, I thought that was like a bum. I was going to say thank you. It's okay. Anyway, everything's a choice. So under this Sag full moon, you probably need to feel like everything's a choice. Think about it for today. Did you really want people telling you what to do today?
No.
Like kind of no, huh? Like what time to wake up or what time? It's gloomy here in Los Angeles. It's super crappy weather right now. So like that didn't help either. I was like, I don't want to go anywhere today. I was going to stay in bed, right? So what I told myself is you could stay in bed today. I couldn't, right? I'm here with you. I couldn't stay in bed today. But I felt like it was a choice and that helped me. Okay. So we have a Sag full moon, liberation, freedom. And then tonight's ritual is all about ancestral healing. And so we're talking about liberation, not just in terms of thinking that you're free, but also of liberating yourself, freeing yourself from patterns of behavior and addiction and illness and things that might be centuries old, things that might be millennia old. Okay. And we all do it. Have you ever sat around the table at the holidays? I'll share a personal example to see if it resonates with you. And everybody starts talking about, well, you know, I had arthritis and your grandma had it in her hip. I know I got it in my wrist. And then somebody else says, well, I got this, you know, lower back. And then, oh, but that was from my great grandmother. You know, after she was 50, you know what I mean? And then they start going around. And then what do the younger people do? They sit there like, is this like a future situation? And that's not, I mean, and then you're like, can I have some wine? Right? So I'm just sharing with you that there is this tendency, and in shamanic work, what we say is every time you talk about something, what it's trauma, illness, hereditary, genetic, whatever it is, every time you talk about something, you revive it. You relive it. And you give it all kinds of energy and you push that energy back towards your line. And then guess what happens to the future generations? Energy doesn't know to move one direction or the other. Energy isn't directional. You direct it. So energy goes in every direction. So if you do healing, guess what? It goes backward, forward. It doesn't just heal you. It heals your grandmother who's already crossed, but now she's in healed, she can be in healed energetic space. Just because they die doesn't mean they move into a healed space. If they pass away and they take that karma with them, they continue. And then they will incarnate again. And guess what? Same patterns. Maybe they come back as your great-granddaughter. Okay? Same patterns. And so it doesn't matter forward, backward, whatever. You may think, well, I'm just going to heal myself, or I'm just going to heal forward my kids, but forget the grandparents or the great-grandparents or the, I don't even know what you call them, right? But they're still there. And so tonight, if you're really ready, here's what I want to tell you. If you set an intention tonight to liberate yourself under the Sag full moon from hereditary patterns that have led to all kinds of things, a lack of health, a lack of prosperity, a lack of peace. A lack of peace is generational. Have you ever met family members and nobody has peace? Right? Think about anxiety disorder that gets passed down. What do you think that is? And by the way, if your ancestors engaged in any kind of war, right, all of these things get imprinted into the memory bank. And so you hear a loud sound and you jump. That may not even be from this lifetime. That could be from generations ago that's still imprinted on you. So if you're really ready right now, and people always say, my family's so nuts, I don't even know where to begin. And I always say, you know what? Your family's not any crazier than mine. And where you begin is right here with you tonight. You can't fix Uncle Bob. Everybody's already tried. So if you think you've got the magic potion for Uncle Bob, I wish that for you. But the reality is Uncle Bob has to fix himself. That is not your work. You do you right now, and I promise you the energy scatters backward and forward. Does that make sense? Okay, promise. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, so let's talk about what we're working with tonight. So we have, if you have your tools, you have two perfumes. One is for the divine masculine, which is Noren. I'm sorry, divine feminine, Noren, which is peony, rose, and lotus. So I'm going to put that on my right side. And then Nanren means man in Chinese. And that is lemongrass, pine, and marjoram. So here's what I'm going to tell you. We're going to be working with left and right sides tonight. In my experience and training, the left is masculine and the right is feminine. The left is projecting and the right is receiving. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. If it's the opposite for you, I want you to work with what feels good to you. Okay. So if you know you're receiving to be left, I just want you to do what resonates with you, not what I'm telling you to do. I want you to use your intuition. So I would like for you to quickly, just right now, just to get the energy going, apply anything masculine you're working with to your masculine side, anything feminine that you're working with in terms of oils or essential oils to your feminine side, and then bring the wrists together. Tonight's all about integration. Aw, Susan's here for the first time, and we've got first timers in the room, so we're just really happy to welcome you if it's your first time with us for ritual. I'm glad that you're here. Okay, so we're going to be doing two things tonight. There's a vial of jade in your kit, and that's because in Chinese ancestral work, they do two things. They do prosperity work, because the ancestors bring money. Their ancestors bring financial prosperity and blessings of all kinds. But they also do physical healing work, which is why you have physical healers. Tiger's Eye is a healer of body systems, as is Malachite. Tiger's Eye heals all body systems that are masculine. Malachite heals all body systems that are feminine. Does that make sense? So we're going to be working with both of those. Malachite eases labor pain. That's why they call it the doula stone. Have you heard that? Yeah, so I'm never going through that again, but if you are, maybe you would just maybe like to work with malachite. At a certain point with my kids, there was no helping me.
Still?
Yes. My kids are 9 and 11, and my daughter's 9 going on, 40, and my son is 11 going on 80. Except for, video games. Then he acts his age. Okay. So those are the tools that we're working with tonight. So make sure you know what they are, organize them by sides. The little bowl is for you. We're not going to be working so much with this in ritual tonight. This is an offering dish, copper, which means it conducts the energy, which is very important in Chinese culture to use copper, a conductive metal. And so what we recommend that you do is take your jade chips, put them inside the bowl, and place this in the southeast corner of your home. Because that is by the Bagua map in Feng Shui, that is the prosperity corner of your home. And if this is an ancestral tool. So if you want to call in more financial prosperity, and what I'm going to tell you is do this before June 1st. You don't have to do it right now, but do it before June 1st. May is the prosperity month. And so you only have a couple of days left to do this work. So I would take it home tonight and do it, or tomorrow, but tonight if you can. Okay, so roll your shoulders back. I'm going to smudge. I'm going to burn it under a Sag moon. Just going to call your energy into present time. Let go of anything that's distracting you from just being here right now. Any thoughts, any worries or concerns that you have, they don't matter right now. They don't matter right now. The reality is they don't matter at all. But in case you don't believe me, they just don't matter right now. Just releasing any energy around you that isn't serving you. Anything that's distracting you, causing you anxiety or fear. You have to learn to be your best mother, yeah? Tell yourself it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Because it will be okay. Might not be okay yet, but it's going to be okay. It was such a beautiful thing, though, last night to be in the middle of the night and hear my guide say, the only peace you'll have is in this moment. And then to stop, as I was sharing it with everybody in the room, that full moon, I don't sleep, but most people don't sleep. So I'm laying there and I'm looking up at the ceiling and I'm like, this moment's really boring. Mm-hmm. It is good, but it's really boring. And then I fell asleep. So if you can't sleep, take away, because my guides are like, nope, you're not going to think about the past. Nope, you're not going to think about the future. You're going to think about right now. And I was like, well, Dave is kind of snoring and and there's nothing happening and I'm really bored. And it was good. Okay, so I'm going to read to you when Moon transits Sagittarius. So just relax, close your eyes. Let me read to you for a minute. When the moon transits Sagittarius, home is on the run and it stretches across the expanse of the world and beyond. Sagittarius moon, she's a gypsy at heart. Oh, aren't I? And she longs to be free to explore the unknown. She is drawn by all the mysteries of foreign places and the wisdom of the ages. She will draw you into conversations and experiences that will blow your mind and change the very premise of the reality you have believed in for a very long time. You might think that she lacks discipline and practicality, and she does, but at her side, you will never be bored. When the moon transits Sagittarius, she nurtures through experiences, and she enjoys pushing all your boundaries. She's a faithful seeker. She revels in the journey and the wisdom she discovers along the way. Sagittarius moon is emotionally very volatile, like a fiery explosion in the sky. It's hard to keep her contained, but why would you try? Take her hand and fly with her over the oceans, touching down in a myriad of cities, climbing to countless summits. With her, the view is lofty, and you are on top of it all. There's always more, and she knows where to find it, for she is infused with the gifts of confidence, optimism, and intuition. Are you longing to know what the truth is? Do you want to know the deeper and grander meaning of all the things? When the moon transits Sagittarius, the portal to wisdom opens wide, and the only question is whether you will be brave enough to step through it. You can't turn back. Moon in Sagittarius will not soothe your frayed nerves, make you a home-cooked meal, or read you a bedtime story. That's right, we're not going to do that. You will not find her tending to your every need or hanging on your words, but you will discover that she's a great companion who will challenge you to be the grandest, strongest, and best you possible. The pursuit of truth is her pursuit, and natural law cannot be found doing the same things with the same people in the same backyard with the same ideas and the same beliefs. Sagittarius moon knows that to expand your understanding of truth, you have to experience what is unknowable. Sagittarius has to leave home, and she knows how to find herself over and over again. She will leave you, and she will return. Will you allow this part of you to rise tonight? For you have some of this too, no matter where your moon sits. When the moon transits Sagittarius, we're in the presence of the wise sage, and she has earned her title from her ability to see the big picture. True wisdom is full-sighted. It does not exclude the details, but it knows that the parts will never define or add up to the whole. Wisdom is found in many places, and the Sagittarian sage has generally traveled far, both within herself and around this big world, in order to bring it all home to you. Whew. It's a big old moon. Here are the themes. You ready for tonight's moon? Truth, expansion of consciousness, belief in religion, teaching and preaching, wisdom, foreign experiences, travel, intuition, confidence, philosophy, alchemy, dark magic, the occult, metaphysics. Concepts, integration, greater meaning, the unknown, higher learning, education, ascension, alien contact, exaggeration, overcommitment, freedom, lust, fun, adventure, the quest, righteousness, the gypsy, uncontrollable, wonder, lust. I like it. Maybe that's why I picked it. Okay.
Because it's you.
I was going to say it's kind of like a list of all the things that I like. So I like darkness, a little lust, a little travel. I like it. Okay. So it is. Who is Sag Moon in here in the room? Okay, we got a couple. Who's Sag Moon online? I got Bethany Davis. Oh, it's a sexy moon. You just can't control it. Sag Moon makes Virgo Moon and Capricorn Moon twitch. That's okay. We're used to it. Okay, so tonight, by the way, this is the beautiful image. This is the actual Temple of Heaven in Beijing. I don't know if you knew that. But this is historically what the emperor would do is he would travel to this temple on the winter solstice every year, the Temple of Heaven. It was thought that you could actually reach heaven through the temple. What's fascinating is if you study sacred geometry enough, you start to learn the significance of certain numbers, like the number 9. 9 is repeated throughout this entire temple. There are 9 levels, 9 concentric circles. Bless you. There are thought to be 9 stargates in our universe, right? And the number 9 is found in every reduction of every measurement of our planet and the moon. So it's a very powerful number. And I think it's really cool when you see how it's iterated in these ancient buildings, these ancient structures. They knew more than we know now actually about sacred geometry. I believe that. Okay, so tonight we are journeying to where the spirits reign between the darkness and the light, where deep wisdom resides. And tonight I summon my ancestors and I wrap myself in their embrace. I set my intentions of trust and hope and surrender all fear. That is our work tonight. So I want you to close your eyes as I open our circle. And as I'm speaking and just calling in the 4 directions, I'm going to do it off the cuff tonight. I feel very called not to read to you. So I'm going to open our circle and live and impromptu. But as I call to the 4 directions, I want you to go within and I want you to set your intention for tonight. What are you liberating for your family tonight? If you could free your family of one thing, what would it be? Would it be illness? Would it be, and let's talk about illness, because there's physical, there's mental, there's spiritual, right? There's different kinds of, I don't even like the word illness, but you know what I mean, imbalance, right? Would you heal them of anger over a lot of times that familial anger is over nothing, right? It's like you don't even know why it perpetuates. Would you heal them of the trauma over war and loss? In my family, that's imprinted all over my father's line because they actually lived through war and lost everything. Would you heal that imprint? Because, by the way, the war imprint is also an imprint of poverty. You know that, right? So, for example, my father's family, they lost literally everything. So in order to survive, they drank blood from the animals and they ate grass. That's all they had. The grass was the carbohydrate, the blood was protein. When you go there, I'm one generation away from that. That was my dad. How can I not be imprinted by that? No matter what I have today. And I take a lot of pleasure in taking care of my dad. It's one of the joys of my life is that I spoil my dad. I can't fix that. And I also can't just fix that imprint. Making his life easier now doesn't take that away. And so what would you liberate tonight if you could? What would you free your family from tonight? If you could shift that in the line, what would you do? It's beautiful, isn't it? Poverty, depression, right? Illness, abusive relationships with men, right? It's really true. And what's really beautiful too is when you look at people, you don't know all the stories, right? You might not look at me and think that it was only how many years ago that half of my line had no food to eat and almost died. You probably wouldn't think that looking at me, right? And so it's like, take a second look at everybody in your life. You don't know what it has taken for them to get where they are. And also take a second look at your own family. Those relatives where you kind of get to a place where you're like, can't they just let it go? What is that imprint on them? When they lay in bed at night and they're looking at the ceiling, what are they thinking about? If I could gift my family one thing, it would be peace at night. Because my dad still screams at night. I can't fix that unless I go in and do this work. Are you ready to do this work? I'm doing the work tonight. I'm not sitting here teaching you something and then, not doing it. Let's see what we can shift. You ready? Let's see what we can shift tonight. They're all waiting for us. And by the way, I think a good chunk of you are incarnated to do exactly what we're doing here right now. I think it's why you're here. I think there's a whole bunch of us who are purifiers. I'm a purifier. Are you a purifier? I'm here to do this work. I'm like Roto-Rooter for the stuff. And you know what I say when I'm asked to do it? Yes. I don't sit there and go, well, I don't know if I'm ready, or I don't know if I'm the right one, or could somebody else do it? Or I'm, maybe later. The answer is now and yes. And I'm here for this and I'm strong enough. And so are you. And you have to learn ultimately after something like tonight, how to love everyone in spite of what they've been through. You'll have a deeper compassion, I think, at the very least. All right, purifiers, let's go. Guardians of the East. We are traveling to the East tonight, ancient China. We call upon the magic of the East for new beginnings. We ask that you support us this evening as we venture into some uncharted territory, new beginnings, a new relationship maybe to our health. Tonight, we are liberating ourselves from centuries and generations and millennia of things we think we already know. All the stories we say, I've heard that story before. You need to listen again. You need to look tonight. And Guardians of the East, help us to see our family with new eyes. They're just souls. And bring us into healed space tonight so that we can heal backward and forward. We are calling in a new day, a new relationship, a new orientation to our parents, living or deceased, to our children, living or deceased, or not coming through us, nieces and nephews. You think the children of your friends are not your nieces and nephews? Sometimes they could only come to you through friends. They're still yours. They're still your line. Really think about what family means. You have a soul family beyond your material family. But tonight it's a new beginning for all of us, all of our relations. And we welcome you to the circle. Guardians of the South, it's going to take courage for us to do this work tonight. We are purifying the lines. Help us to work with the element of fire. Help us to understand how we can create a new way of relating to the past, a clean way, free of karmic debt and baggage that we keep carrying around, We ask for your support as we release, as we burn through and burn clean old patterns, old ways of seeing, old eyes. We welcome you to the circle. Guardians of the West, we look to you tonight for purification, for cleansing, for release. We ask that you take all of these unneeded energies, these outdated models, we set them in little tiny boats upon your rivers and streams and ask that you take them from us. Relieve from us, Guardians of the West, the emotional wounding and pain that we can no longer carry, that isn't even ours to carry in the first place. Set us free tonight. In the West also is the blood, the object link, that bloodline to the mother and the father, especially the mother here in the West. Heal the relationship to the mother tonight for us, Guardians of the West. Whatever the relationship with the mother is, help us to see her simply as a woman who was, who is. Help us to not judge her. Help us to understand that she walks her own destiny line. We are not bound to it. Help us to see her simply as another soul who's walking a sacred path, and help us to have compassion. We may not have made the choices that she made, but we were also not there when she made them. And Guardians of the West, we welcome you to our circle. Guardians of the North, we are in your territory tonight. We give thanks. We stand on mighty shoulders. Each and every one of you stands on mighty shoulders. Your ancestors had to cross oceans of time to create you. You were made with love and intention. The seed of your life came into being not 30 years ago or 60 years ago or the moment of conception, but centuries ago. Do you really not think that your great-grandmother didn't know you were coming? Couldn't feel you coming? Didn't wish upon you, knowing that you would have the time and the space and the skills and the community and the technology and the wisdom. She knew you were coming. Guardians of the North, we give thanks for the ancestors' voices tonight. Help them to speak loudly and clearly to us. Help us to speak loudly and clearly to them. And as you allow this purification this evening, help it to spread not just backward, but forward to our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And again, if you think you have no errors to your line, you are wrong. Look at all the little ones around you who've come to you through other channels. You are teaching them as well. And we welcome them to the circle, the Guardians of the North. We welcome the ancestors. We welcome the ascended masters, the guardian spirits, angels, archangels. We welcome the spirits of your children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We welcome them all into this present time. And let them fill the room wherever you are. Let them fill the room where I am. And you are welcome here. And with that, our beautiful circle is open. Woo! They are here, they are here, they are here. I can feel them saying, just get started. Okay, so I'm going to light my candle. We light candles in ritual to invoke element of fire, which is a force of transmutation. And so we honor the ancestors. You can read your invocation if you have it and want to read that. We've already anointed with our oils. Make sure you have your stones close by. Again, malachite is going to be the stone you're going to hold when I tell you you're working with the feminine line. You can work with any stone that feels good to you, but this is what was in your set. The tiger's eye is what you're going to hold when I tell you to work with the masculine line. And so whether that's I'm using that on my left side. If you want to alternate and use it on your right side, you're more than welcome. I fully recognize that there are 100 different ways to do things. And so I don't want you to feel constrained by me in any way. Okay. So close your eyes, roll your shoulders back. Tonight we are entering the temple of heaven. And as I said, the Temple of Heaven served two purposes in ancient China. It was a place that you went to seek blessings, and it was a place that you went to seek healing. So first, what we're going to do is the blessing piece. So tonight we're going to call in blessings. We're going to do 2 rounds of each meditation. The first is going to be calling in blessings for you and your line. And then the second round is going to be blessings for the whole planet. Because we have to, it's been on my soul. Our planet, in case you haven't noticed, is in crisis. Pele herself is screaming. And so we need to pay attention. And the one thing I can tell you, I don't talk about politics and all that stuff because you don't come to me for that and you can go somewhere else for that. But I will tell you this, what the guides are on me to tell you about everything right now, world events, is make sure you're looking in the right place. There's a lot of this over here when you should be this over here. So just be sure that when your attention, what they've told me is when your attention goes narrow, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, look at this, or focus on this. And all of a sudden you're reading for like 20 minutes. What you're actually supposed to do is pull back out and go wider. So just notice when the universe tries to get you small, that's an effort to keep your consciousness closed. Does that make sense? And so back out. Don't resist all temptation to be small right now. It's actually the opposite. Okay. On we go. And then we're going to do healing for you and your line, and then healing for the planet. So we'll do 2 rounds of the blessing, 2 rounds of the healing. You ready? So I want you to imagine that you are standing, laying as it were. And I want you to be very, very comfortable. So if laying is more comfortable, do that right now. I want you to imagine that you are standing at the base of this beautiful temple, and that you're going to ascend those stairs and step inside this beautiful temple. And as you walk into the temple, I want you to feel the duality. Duality was really important in Chinese culture. They definitely felt a sense of obviously the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, that these are counterparts that create the whole, but they are separate forces. And so as you step inside, I want you to sense down the feminine side for you, the feminine side of your body, all of the energy of your line. What does the feminine energy in your line feel like? Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? Does it feel curious or does it feel judgmental? Does it feel open or does it feel closed? Does it feel tender and intimate or does it feel hard and distant? No judgment, because both are okay, but just how does it feel? The energy of your feminine line. And just noticing, no judgment, just noticing. And now, interesting, right? The sensuality and the restriction. Powerful but broken. This is from the feed. Frail, judgmental, sad, tender, curious, obstinate. Really interesting adjectives, right? Come up with your adjectives for your feminine line. It's funny for me, it's scared. Scared. What are these things I know? How do I know them? Where's it coming from? Who should I tell? Right? Scared. It feels like a mouse energy, like a little hidden scurrying. Okay, and now down the opposite side, right? Because wherever your feminine is, the masculine is the opposite side. For me, it's the left side. So I want you to really feel into the masculine energy now. And release yourself from the feminine so that you can really indulge the masculine for a minute. And you should be able to do this whether you're male or female. Because the reality is you're neither of those things. You're a whole bunch of things. So I want you to feel that masculine energy down your line now. How does that feel? Does that feel... It's interesting, right? Does it feel strong or does it feel weak? Disconnected? Insecure, yeah? Warrior, though. There's power there. Most of us in at least one of those lines have energy of having taken a life or lives. And if you're really going to do healing work, you're going to have to be willing to entertain that may have happened. And for a lot of us, that happens down the masculine line. But for some of us, it happens down the feminine line. Strong, powerful, sexy, angry, conflicted. Bless you. Well, Gita's grandfather was a Mason. So there's mystery in her line. Yeah? Ooh. Yeah? Strong, abuse of power, hard-headed, rejected, overbearing, introverted, unhealthy, creative, free, superior, powerful, dominant. Yeah. Entitled. Ooh, that's interesting. Closed off, spiritual, wise. Okay. Now, let go of that for a moment. I want you to come back to center. To come back to you. My goal for you for tonight is for you to have a lived physical experience of what it feels like to sit in between. Do you feel it right now? Like, really, do you feel it right now? How many expectations, energetic expectations, have been placed on you? And how ready you are, in fact, to work with those now. Because you are all those things, right? You're scared and powerful and repressed and angry and happy and beautiful and creative and pissed off and shut down and detached and engaged. And that's why you feel crazy sometimes. That's why we all feel crazy sometimes. We think everybody else is sane until we realize that everybody's sitting in the middle of opposites, trying to balance it. Okay. And so as we ascend the temple tonight, we now have taken an inventory. We know right where we stand in the middle of all of that. In the middle of all of that, we are that calm after those storms because we are here and they're all watching. Don't you feel it's like a stadium now? They're watching. What will you do? How will you shift it? There's a lot of feeling of pride too that I'm channeling. They're very proud of you because they hoped this would happen and they thought it would be you, and they were right. Okay. So as we ascend the stairs of this beautiful temple to heaven, recognizing there's 9 layers, there's 9 levels of energy surrounding us tonight, and blessings on both sides. And so the first thing we're going to do is on the mother line. Now, we're first going to call in blessings for you and your relations on the mother line. And ancestral guides, we ask for blessings all the way up and down the line tonight. For us, for the mother, the grandmother, the great-grandmother, the daughter, the granddaughter, the great-granddaughter, the niece, the daughter of your friend that you know you're related to, and she knows your soul and you know her soul, but you're not, but you're still. We're asking for blessings all the way up and down that line tonight. We're asking for blessings of prosperity and peace. We're asking for prosperity of all kinds, financial prosperity, prosperity of time, prosperity of space, prosperity of trust, prosperity of joy in the simple things. And now on the mother line, we're calling in blessings for our entire planet, every feminine aspect of the planet. And I want you to think holistically about that. Calling in blessings for our bodies of water, Calling in blessings for Pele herself. Calling in blessings so that every aspect of the divine feminine on this planet can look at us and see that we are trying. They don't have to scream and yell at us. They don't have to create a vigilant lava flow that won't stop unless we listen. We are sending blessings, and we are calling upon the ancestors for blessings upon every facet of the divine feminine on this planet at this time. And we also call in blessings for the divine feminine on this planet at every other time. Blessings backward to the great flood that led us all here. Blessings forward for anything in the future that will happen to our great Gaia once we're not here in physical form. And we call in blessings for the entire planet tonight in the feminine line of that planet. All of her creatures, four-legged winged creatures, all of her bodies of water, all of her land and her trees. And we ask for blessings upon her tonight. And now, down the masculine side for blessings. It feels very sweet, actually. We just celebrated Memorial Day weekend in the United States, and so many of us have warriors in our lines. And so tonight is kind of like the energetic complement to that holiday, celebrating the sacrifices, because many in your line have sacrificed, have given their lives for your safety. Maybe not in traditional ways, but in some ways, someone sacrificed to make sure that you would get here safely. And so down the masculine side tonight, we call in blessings for you, your masculine, and for every masculine member of your line, past, present, future. Blessings of peace to the father and the grandfather and the great-grandfather. That's a hard one for me. May they know peace. May they know prosperity on every level, prosperity of joy and peace. May the men in your line know the prosperity of rest, of not having to fix or make better or different, of just allowing what is to be. And sending those blessings down the line and ahead of the line. I didn't know my grandfathers, so tonight's the first time I've ever felt them energetically. So I just want to thank you for being here. I've never felt them before. It feels nice to be of service. And then let's send blessings to the masculine of our planet. All of the land masses, all of the structures and pillars of strength and force on our planet, all of the ways in which our planet manifests the masculine. We just send blessings to our entire planet. So beautiful. Even the planet needs to know that it doesn't have to always hold us up. Even the planet needs to rest sometimes. And there's no rest right now. So we're just sending in all directions It's beautiful. Well, that's the thing about tonight. You don't even have to know who you're sending the blessings to. It doesn't matter. If you really believe in dimensional reality, it's all happening all here right now. So it doesn't matter whether you know or don't know. It's okay. Okay, now back to the feminine side. I'm going to re-anoint because I need the, for me, scent is very important for ritual. So if you've lost the tracking of the scent, you should re-anoint. It'll bring you back. 3 deep inhales will do it. So good. Just to tell them that you love them. They're so proud of you, but you know what? They would like you to be proud of them too. It's really beautiful tonight. On the feminine side, are you ready? Now we call in the healing. Mother, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, aunts, sisters. And then forward, daughter, granddaughter, granddaughters. I want a lot of them. I'm going to need a lot of them. I have a lot of jewelry. Granddaughters, nieces, all the little ones. I love a lot of little people, and they're not mine, but you know what? In my heart, they're mine. So all the little ones that you love, they're still yours. You're still teaching them. You're still mothering them. You're helping their mothers mother them. We mothers can't do it alone. We never do it alone. I will adopt you, Dawn Fisher. Let's discuss the paperwork later. So we're calling in healing blessings tonight. Physical healing, spiritual healing, mental healing, emotional healing, healing on every level from every affliction that you think is yours, that they thought was theirs, that they will think is theirs. We release it tonight. Healing guardians, elders, ancestors, archangels, angels, we ask you to surround us as we release this energy down the line. We are no longer bound to our past, to our present, or to our future. Help us to disconnect from energy streams that have not served our family in thousands of years. Just release it. It's not yours. You can say it to yourself. I release it. It's not mine. I release it. It's not mine. It's not ours. And then if you're willing to each of them, say, I release it. It's not yours. I release it. It's not yours. I release it. It's not yours. You be the one to purify it. I release it. It's not yours. I release it. It's not yours. Stay with your breath. And now we're calling in healing for the planet. Old agreements is what the guides are saying tonight get released. These are old agreements. They're based on nothing we didn't know. So tonight we release you. They're not yours. These old agreements, these old ways of being, these old ways of relating to each other, these old rules and laws and old, done, finished, complete, karma cleared. We release, we release, we release tonight. Anything that's ready to be released. It's like dead leaves on a tree. We just shake it tonight. It's not yours. Let it go. Gaia, tonight we ask that you see us. We are trying. We, your children. There are many of us who are trying. There are many of us who see. Please be patient with us. Please be generous with us. Please trust. Please guide us. Please allow us the space and the time to make things right. Please show us the path. Please know that we are listening. And now the masculine. You ready? Shake it off. If you need to stand up and shake it off, shake it off. Shake it. Now we call in the healing blessings for the masculine line. And you know what? I feel them like lining up. Yeah. There's an acknowledgement tonight. The masculine acknowledges the feminine acknowledges the masculine. Neither of us got here alone. It took both of us to screw it up. It's going to take both of us to fix it. So anytime I see the feminine not including the masculine makes me very nervous, because that is 50% at best. And so tonight we call in physical, spiritual, emotional, material healing for the entire masculine line of our families. Backward, forward, father, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, uncles, nephews. And then forward to the son, grandsons, bless you, sons and grandsons, great-grandsons, nephews, all the little ones who are watching you. And tonight we call in all of the healing. We call in the need not to have to fix all the time. You don't always have to build masculine. You don't always have to fix masculine. You don't always have to solve masculine. You don't always have to rescue masculine. In fact, you can be rescued. You can be touched. You can be held. You can be loved. You can be served. That is what the other 50% of us are here to do for you, is to hold you and caress you and nurture you and love you and rock you to sleep. We are here to do that. And always remembering, by the way, you are both. So even speaking to the masculine in you, the masculine outside of you is nothing but a reflection of the masculine within you. But tonight you heal both. There's a lot of masculine wounding around the creation of trauma that I'm feeling. And again, this could be around wartime, taking of lives. There has to be a forgiveness there. There has to be a forgiveness there. So we pour that river of compassion and forgiveness towards you tonight, Divine Masculine, in every one of your iterations, physical, spiritual, planetary. And so now let's open up and call in that healing for the planet, the masculine of the planet. Calling it in for world leaders. There's a confusion about what power looks like. Power with, not power over. So tonight we heal all of that. We heal the need to control. We heal the need to destroy. We heal the need to express power over. And tonight we express the blessings of power with, the union of the masculine with the feminine, so that our planet doesn't have to scream in the way it's screaming, the only way it knows how right now. The masculine is much more beautiful when it doesn't feel pressured, when it doesn't feel compelled, right? I mean, there is a sense of like, we joke about this concept of like performance anxiety, but there is a masculine, like, am I going to be strong enough? Am I going to be are people going to think I'm weak? Am I going to be forceful enough? And it's like, that's a lot of pressure on the masculine that we, the feminine, can release them from. Because if we rise up in our divine masculine, then we shoulder the burden. And that's ultimately the right balance. You don't have to fix this for me, masculine. I'm over here fixing it for myself, but it would be nice to have a partner. That's different than saying, you fix this for me, or you make me safe, or you take, we can't do that, because that's what leads to the imbalance where we are today. And the masculine needs support. So we are here. That's right. How much more the masculine loves us when we can shoulder the burden with them. Okay, so I want you to take your stones for the last part of our meditation. Masculine stone on the masculine side, feminine stone on the feminine side. The Lemurians chose Earth because of the crystals we have. I'm assuming you know that. They chose Earth because we are the planet with the greatest proportion of silicon dioxide, which is quartz, which magnifies energy. So that's why they chose Earth. Our crystal matrix is still our greatest source of power as human beings. And so when you work with your crystals, you are tapping into a force that has been appreciated for more than 100,000 years by star beings and other galaxies. So if you think your crystals aren't powerful, I would encourage you to reevaluate that position. We were, in fact, colonized because of them. And so tonight we send this energy of tiger's eye out to the masculine, enhancing your intuition, psychic protection, knowing that you are already held and supported. You don't have to fix this for us. We are showing up to support you 50%. We are here as your partners. Sending malachite energy to the divine feminine. Your wounds are healed. You do not have to bleed out any longer. You do not need a blood sacrifice from the feminine. You are enough. You do not have to fix or heal everyone and everything. You simply have to be, and your very being is enough. You are rising in your power to meet the divine masculine, and in that integration is your healing. We give thanks for the healing that has taken place tonight. And together we say Amen, Aho, and so it is. Woo! Place your stones together. You can pass your breath over them. These stones, whatever duo you use tonight, is now a supercharged little duo for you. And it will always represent, for as long as you work with these stones, the balance of power that exists within you. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. That is what 0 point theory says. This is really where healing begins. Every one of your cells, no matter what physical condition you're in, knows how to heal itself. It already knows, because there's the blueprint of your entire body exists in every one of your cells. You already have what you need to heal yourself. You just don't believe it. You believe a doctor has it, some person who's never met you because they went to school for a long time. I'm not saying doctors are not smart people. I'm a doctor too, not a medical doctor, but a philosophy doctor. People put a whole lot of faith in me just because I went to school for a long time. You need to learn to trust you, to call in your guides, to summon your own healing energy capacity, because it's with you all the time. So it is. We give thanks for the courage that this new beginning required. Guardians of the North, ancestors, we release you to your resting places, to your living places. We give thanks for your presence and for the healing that has taken place tonight. And we release those guardians from their service to the circle tonight. Guardians of the West, thank you for the emotional healing that took place tonight, the purification of our lines, so powerful. We believe in the capacity for this work to shift the very experience of reality that we know today. And we are ready for that. We release you from your service to the circle. Guardians of the South. Whew. Thank you for the stamina, the courage, the fire, the bravery, the confidence it takes to stand before our line and say, I am ready. I will be the one. where the patterns stop. And a new pattern emerges of healing and integration. We release you with gratitude, and then guardians of the East. Whew. We appreciate this opportunity to reboot. We welcome a new way of feeling. And trust me when I tell you, you guys, when you do this work, you literally can shift everything about your physical, emotional, and spiritual reality. You can look different. You can feel different. I've had clients go through experiences like this and all of a sudden lose 20 pounds. All of a sudden, whatever health condition there was is gone. All of a sudden, that arthritis, they don't know what happened, but it's just gone. I believe in miracles because what starts in the quantum field energetically ultimately manifests in the physical field. It has to happen energetically first. I'll go to that. And so I want to thank you for being here tonight. I hope that you really, really enjoyed this ritual. It was powerful. It felt very right. The timing felt right. We are about to hit summer solstice. And then we begin the harvest season. So you can't go into that phase carrying this stuff around. It just isn't going to serve you or anyone you know or love. But what's really funny is I'm like scanning the room here in person. You guys look different. You do. There's a lightness. There's a little bit of there's a shaking off that I can physically see.
My back pain went away.
Did it really? Yeah. I mean, I can physically see a difference in literally each one of you as I make contact. It's really beautiful to see you because I believe it's all possible. And I don't care how serious it is. I really believe. But I have a lot of data points. So the jade, you guys, is for you to do. I mentioned this earlier. I want you I would like you to do it tonight. If you can't do it tonight, it's okay, do it tomorrow. But I would like you to take your jade and your offering dish and place your pieces. Put your coin in there too. They're going to make you work for it. Place your pieces inside. You can anoint with your oils too if you want. And then this goes in the southeast corner of your home. And in my opinion, should never leave. It's not going to go bad. It's copper and jade. It might patina on you, but it'll look really pretty when it does. You can put it outside too. My southeastern altar is outside. It's not inside. I have a Lakshmi statue and I place fresh flowers on it every morning. I go and I sit with her for a few minutes. That's my meditation in the morning. Whatever practice works for you. But this is my little gift to keep the blessings coming because the ancestors will bring prosperity to you as part of the blessings that we did tonight. And that's what jade represents. Jade is enduring blessings. Jade is not blessings that come and go. Jade is blessings forever. Blessings of new business too. So if you have a business and you're trying to grow it, jade is a really powerful stone too. Well, I am grateful that you are here. You were here. I'm so just appreciative of your presence and your magic. I hope that this ritual blesses you for many, many years and moons and eons to come. I really do think you made a difference tonight. If you'd like to put, by the way, your masculine and feminine stones in there on top, you can do that too, because that just represents balance. So you can be calling in blessings of material prosperity on the masculine side and blessings of health, or if you're trying to become pregnant or if you're trying to create something new for yourself, that you can also call in those blessings with that offering dish too. Okay, so next month we're going to Persia. We are engaging in what's called the Festival of Rain. And what's really interesting is the Festival of Rain in Persia is actually happening when we are holding the ritual. And we did not plan that. It's really beautiful. Ancient Persia, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful of all of the ancient civilizations. And I'm not just saying that because there's a chunk of my family that's Persian, but I might be a little bit biased. But anyway, so here's what's really fascinating is that the horse energy of next month is tied to the star Sirius. Sirius is where a lot of us came from. And the star Sirius is actually the star that the wise men followed to find Christ after he was born. That's Sirius. Okay. Huh? We'll get into that. Okay. That's a whole separate conversation. Okay. So this is an energy of pure divine, what I would call Christ consciousness. This is the highest form of white light energy that we're going to be working with next month. And the Persians harnessed it in a powerful way by connecting to that Syrian star. So the kit is in the shop for you. What is our sale code? I can't remember what our sale code is today.
Goddess 17.
Goddess 17. Everything is 17% off with Goddess 17. So I would recommend that you use that for your Persian tools for next month. But I will look forward to seeing you very soon. I'm headed to Hawaii. I am. I'm going to be doing live ritual there. I don't know what day or time because I have to figure out internets, but I'm doing a ritual for Pele. I've been guided to a very specific stretch of lava that I'm supposed to walk out on and do certain things. So if I can bring you all live, I'm going to schedule it and do a certain time and day, and then we'll go Facebook Live so you guys can join us there too. So if you want to do any healing for Pele, if you want to do any healing for the islands, I would just encourage you to join me if you can. And then when I get back, we will be doing some pretty awesome stuff for summer solstice. So you have that to look forward to. I can't wait. I know. So anyway, stand by for details. We will make sure as soon as we schedule any of that ritual work in Hawaii. And then, of course, we're talking about starting to do live events in Hawaii, not this year, but hopefully in the coming years. So stay tuned for lots of details. Indeed. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Full moon blessings to you. And we'll see you very soon.